Hi, everyone. I just wanted to jump on and let you know what it is that we are doing for this week. Every week, my plan is to make a video explaining this is what it is that you're doing, this is where you should go, just to make life a little bit easier. I'll also post a written instruction of what needs to be done, as well as a calendar to help you out. So this last week, week one that is ending today, but I'm posting this tomorrow. Um, you should have the main things were obviously to look at the lecture, to do the discussion, to do the quiz, and to take a look at this portfolio directions. Even though there was nothing to turn in for this, it was really important that you took a look at those. Um, just to see, all right, this is what it is that's coming up. This entire project is worth 30% of your grade. And just kind of seeing, okay, well, what is it that this is all about? And then what are the different weeks and deliverables that there are? So this week, week two, you have your first major aspect of that. We'll talk about that part first. So this is to help you identify, okay, this is what it is that I'm going to be talking about. And you need to make sure that you're doing the same idea throughout. So whatever it is that you choose on week two, that is what it is that you are focusing on for the rest. Now, I know that things happen and you might say week 3 or 4, say, oh, I don't really like this topic anymore and want to change it. If that's the case, please talk to me. That would mean that you would need to redo the other parts, or at least talk to me. No, you would need to do the other parts and resubmit the other parts. So please be aware of that. So whatever it is that you are choosing for your topic week two, that is what it is that you're doing for the entire course. So this assignment is pretty self-explanatory. It's a worksheet to get you thinking about what it is that you're going to do for this. So what topic are you going to explore? You are supposed to have this in the form of a question in the same way that they are here. So for example, should all schools require school uniforms? Should the United States continue using daylight savings time? Should the United States have universal health care? Whatever it may be. Whenever you're choosing a topic, make sure it is one that people could disagree with. Because if it's just a fact, then you don't have anything that you have to prove, and you won't have anything for a counterclaim. So you just go through, you can type directly on here, is totally fine. So this is just in the form of a question. How are you answering it? Meaning, are you on the plus side of this or on the opposite side of this? So essentially, you'll ask the question here. I'm going to use this week's discussion question just to make life simpler. Is, or should pineapple go on pizza? And my answer to this is no. That is wrong. It's atrocious. I don't know, whatever. And I could go into a little bit more detail if I want as to why I am on one side or the other. But this is really essentially a brainstorm. And in a brainstorm, everything doesn't have to be fleshed out. So you go through that, give 3 different reasons and an example of evidence. Make sure you have both the reason and an example of evidence that could potentially back this up. There are different types of evidence that you can use. Just so you know, there is historical evidence, looking at something in the past. There are current events, something that is going on right now. There's statistics, like empirical data where it's numbers and that type of thing. There's expert opinion, personal experience, and there's anecdotes. Depending on who your audience is, you want to be really careful about what it is that you use. But what is an example of evidence that you can use to back this up? What are 3 reasons and what's some evidence? More specifically, then, are you going to be able to find credible scholarly sources that go along with that? So, if it's credible and scholarly, that means it's not going to be personal experience and anecdote. You're going to need to think of, okay, do I have historical, current events, stats, expert opinion? Where is it that I can get scholarly, credible sources? And then what are you thinking of for a counterclaim? So, just fill out. Then this week in week 2, you also have the lecture. It's really important to engage in the lecture. There's a lot that's in each one. So if there's ever anything that you have questions on, anything that you would like me to explain further, whether that's we meet or I make a video or whatever it may be, I'm more than happy to do that, but make sure you take a look at the lecture. You do have a discussion, so make sure that you do this discussion. So those are the things that you have going on this week. If you have any questions or concerns about anything, please make sure that you let me know.